Podcasting. Okay.
Kia ora everyone, it's Awhimai Reynolds here, and you're watching the iWahine talk show. This is episode number 3. Didn't have one last week, sorry, because a couple of people had lined up. You know, stuff happens, life gets in the way. And also I'd had a week out of town, so I just decided not to do anything last week. So this is the third one, and I have I am interviewing beautiful young, not just young, but beautiful wahine who are doing fabulous things out there, to provide some inspiration for you, and to share their journey, and how they got to where they are today. So yeah, because women are changing the world. We're changing the way that we do business. We're redefining what leadership is. And so today I'm really excited to welcome today on the show Alannah Curtis. Okay, now she is 27 years old and seems to have done a hell of a lot in her short life. So without further ado, I will bring Alannah in. And if you see me looking at here, it's just that I'm looking at some notes that she sent me to tell me a little bit about herself. But where possible, I'm just going to let Alannah tell you her own story. So, kia ora, Alannah.
Kia ora.
So why don't we start? Yeah, why don't you just start with telling us where you're from and where you're calling from at the moment?
Sorry, can you say that one more?
Just tell us where you're from. Yes.
Yeah. Hi everyone. My name's Alannah Curtis. I'm from Kaikohe. I grew up in Kaikohe. I currently am in Kirikiri, and I'm the owner, operator, and director of DDF Dance Studios. I have 2 children. I'm a solo mom. And yeah, I'm just coming into 10 years of my business. I'm here in the far north.
Awesome.
Yep. Ko Mataro o Te Marae, which is up in Kaitaia. Yeah, so I've got a lot of background here in the very far north.
Awesome. So let's start, Alannah, by you telling us your story about how you came about getting into business, the why and the how.
Yeah. So when I was a young child, I wanted to be a dancer. I went to obviously the Kaikohe East School in Kaikohe, but there was nothing available for me to take classes. There were no dance programs available at that time. So I remember I think I was 14, and I took my first dance class that finally came to Kirikiri. And after a term, they wanted me to teach.
Wow.
And I started teaching. Yeah, they were called Hardcore Dance Company, which is Analise, who's a really big name in the hip hop scene in New Zealand. And that was where I started. And then along the way, at about 16, I fell pregnant very young. And I needed to support my family, and just working under Analise wasn't quite enough money to support a baby at that age. And I didn't want to be on a benefit. So I had to strive for something more. And that was where my mum said to me, okay, Anna, I'm going to give you 2 weeks. It's sort of something that we had discussed quite a lot, that, this is what I wanted to do, but we didn't know how we were going to do it. So this kind of just gave me the push and the that I needed to make it happen. And in 2 weeks, I started a business. I was 18.
Wow.
And I started at the Kaikohe East School Hall, with the first hip-hop dance business in Kaikohe when I was 18. So that's nearly 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was a huge hit. Everybody already knew who I was. We were called Alannah's Hip Hop Dance Classes then. It's now DDF Dance. But yeah, I was very well known because I danced throughout the community, and I started with a big bang. I had the community come and support me, and I think I started with about 80 students, which is huge.
Wow. Yeah.
So it was quite overwhelming. And that's how we got started, and I haven't looked back.
Awesome. So who has been your biggest role models? Who have been your biggest role models, Alannah?
Oh, Definitely my mum, obviously, because she's my number one support, and without her, I wouldn't be where I am. And she just helps, give me that push and that shove that I need, or when I'm not believing in myself, she gives me that. But I feel like a lot of the things that I did when I grew up, I did something called Yunjang Do in Kaikohe, which is John Cowan, and I believe that gave me a lot of discipline in my life. So I got my black belt at 10 years old.
Wow.
And I started that so I believe that it was like a non-contact martial art, and I feel that gave me a lot of discipline and set me up in many different ways in my life. I also had a lovely lady named Anne Stillwell that was a big influence through my childhood, that I did swimming with, but she was in netball, and they were just big community people that gave me that community vibe and to give back to the community. And they supported me through my childhood, and it made me really look up to them. I had some really just people in the community that were amazing, that I feel like I took little bits of what I was watching and striving for as a young person to look up to, of I would like to, to do that, or I would like to be that. And I feel that that's come through to the person that I am today. That makes
Awesome.
sense.
So having lots of...
Not big. Yeah.
What was that? Not big?
Not like big idols or big artists. Like I really don't strive to, like those people that are on television that are making millions of dollars. For me, they're not really people that I look up to and aspire to. I mean, I love their work and I would love to get into that in the future, but I kind of feel like the people in my community inspire me a lot more.
That's really awesome.
Face-to-face inspiration.
Yeah, so that's really awesome, that personal touch, that closeness in the community. I think that's really cool. So you said you launched and you had 80 students come along in your first, when you launched it. So how has it been over the years in maintaining that consistency and even building your brand and your business?
It's definitely been a long process. Over the 10 years, I have had businesses all over the place in very small communities. So obviously the first goal was providing for the community what I didn't have when I was younger, giving them that dance program to go to. So I ended up going to all, because obviously Far North's really big and we're very small. So I had to go to all the little communities and provide the service for them, because what I was finding was they couldn't get there. So I had classes, Russell, Opua, Paihia, Okaiho, Kaio, and we were just in halls, like school halls. So it wasn't all at once. It sort of happened over the last 10 years that I slowly spread myself out and sort of gave communities turns, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I think, was it 2014, we actually got a studio. So that was another goal. So 2014. Yeah, 2014, we've got my studio, which is now based in Kirikiri, which was great because by then I had my second child. So having that one base was a lot easier, especially when I had a family, than all the traveling out to all these different communities trying to provide the service. So it's been just a very big learning curve as also along the way, and also giving what the people want. So sometimes Opua might have expanded and started off real big, but then, after a couple of terms, people leave or people come. So it's just kind of what's needed in the community. Like I think my Russell business was there for about 2 years, really strong. The school was huge, but then they got to that teenage age where they needed to go to high school, and there was no more high school in Russell. So everybody left because they had to go to Bay College or Kirikiri High School, and they left that Russell area. So it's kind of, just learning the communities and what's needed at the time.
Okay, so and it's just, is it talking with people, asking feedback, or it sounds like you really listened to what your customers or community wanted and adapted your services to suit them. I like the idea how you went out to the different communities initially. That was kind of a good idea. But now what I'm hearing is that you have a studio, and now people who know you are coming to you. Is that correct? Or are you still going out to communities as well?
Yes. So the whole idea was, yes, for everyone to start coming to my studio. But I still go out. Yeah, I still, because I do know, so like the studio is strong, people do come, but there's still those communities that can't get there. So if I have the opportunity of a tutor working for me that can travel out, we definitely do still go out to the odd communities. So at the moment we're in Carmore, which is about an hour away from my studio, which is in Whangarei. So that's only been going for 2 weeks. So at the moment that's all we're doing, but next term we're looking at going back to Kaikohe. And we're also looking at going to Cooper's Beach, and I haven't been there at all. But it just gives, that extra hour away of that extra community that, get the services that I'm trying to provide. Yeah.
That's really awesome. So you said that you have a tutor go out. So do you have a team of people working for you, or is it just you, Alannah?
Well, I do have a team that works on board me, but I run everything myself with a bit of support from my mum. So I do everything in my business. So I do the accounting, the receptionist, the organising, the teaching, the music scene, the video creating, the advertising, everything. I do that all on my own. Kind of doesn't provide enough to support that extra need. But I do have some 4 young, beautiful, talented young Māori wahine on board my business. I think I've got 4 at the moment. I've got Shaq, Brooklyn, who's 17, Sarah, 17, Christelle, 14. So I'm also trying to create opportunities for work. And I have just recently had a job interview, and I had a lady from LA who had like everything you could possibly want. And I had my 17-year-old Brooklyn from the community, danced in my studio, needs a job, has the passion. And I opted for our local, thinking about, what it was like for me at that age. It's what I wanted. It was what I wanted to do. So I gave that opportunity to her, and I'm just mentoring her through the whole process and giving her that opportunity upon someone that maybe had everything. But I kind of feel like, that's what our community needs, support.
That's really awesome. So it sounds like you do more than just teach dance. So what do you want to share with us? What else you do, Alannah?
Oh, crikey. Well, where do I start?
Start with the ones that you're most passionate about.
Yeah. At the moment, I'm mentoring a few young girls that are working for me. I'm mentoring Sarah Bernard quite passionately. It's what she wants to do for a living. So I'm just trying to help her. First of all, we've obviously got to mentor her through dancing. That's obviously number one, and get her to a high peak at where she's at the level where she can further her career, which means obviously leaving DDF. And it's just trying to help her find the right alleyways, obviously, because with dance, there's so many alleys you can go into. You don't necessarily have to go to dance. It could be drama. It could be acting. There's a lot of alleys that you can go into, but obviously it depends on the person. So at the moment, we're looking at her going further than New Zealand. We're like looking overseas.
Awesome.
She wants to get booked and do, big jobs. So I'm just helping mentor her in the right directions and how to get there. So like tonight, Sarah and I will be performing at the Tiki Tavern with a dance. We're just dancing for like a group called Hori Collective. So I'm just trying to give her every opportunity. So she's like my number one girl. So every opportunity that I get, she comes with me, whether it's an interview, music videos, performing, etc., etc. That's just to help her for her further career, and everything that I think she'll need to, help her get that confidence, help her know all the ins and outs, and just really have her super prepared. And that's just me doing that out of the goodness of my heart. I also I'm a teacher at Northland College, and that also is a goal of mine. And obviously I came from Kaikohe, and I really wanted to have my studio in Kaikohe, but unfortunately it's kind of not not a big enough place to be able to feasibly financially hold something like that there. So
Yeah.
for me to, yes, I've got my studio in Kerikeri, but for me to go back to Northland College, which is in Kaikohe, for me it kind of feels the same, that same goal aspect. So I love my job there. It's beautiful. I love the kids. So talented. Lack support. So I believe that's what I'm there for, to give them that support and just trying to give them as many opportunities that are available while I'm there. And the growth, I've only been there for half a year, has been phenomenal. And even the school has, the growth in the kids they've never seen it, sort of come before at that school. So I'm really pleased with that. What else did I do?
The netball team, I read.
So I'm really passionate about netball. I love netball, and I had to choose dance over netball. So I kind of wanted to be a silver fern, but I had to choose dance. I was a real top netball player as well. But I had my studio, and netball comes a lot of injuries, and it's my lifestyle. It's my livelihood is my studio. It's how I put my food on my table. It's how I put a roof over my kids' heads. So I couldn't take the chance of getting injured and not having my legs, or not being able to dance and give have that. So I had to unfortunately drop netball. So I'm kind of living the dream of netball again, and that's through my daughter. So she's 10, and we've got a year 6 DDF netball team that DDF sponsor, and they're amazing. They just won the Auckland tournament last weekend.
Oh, well done.
They took out. Yeah, so we do lots. I do so much. I just don't even know how I fit it in. I'm just very passionate.
Cool.
I love dance. I love the community, and if I can provide it, or if I can give that opportunity, I will. So if there is a time on my schedule, which is March, I will book you in.
So it sounds like you've been able to bring all your passions together. And from where you live in the far north, and all we hear about the far north is that there's, poverty, that, it's deprived and all that stuff. But you're showing us, as did Kieran, who I interviewed a couple of weeks ago, you're showing us that there's another part of the far north that we don't know about, that there are people like yourselves who are doing just fabulous things within the community. So it's really good for us to hear about that. So this is what I'm hearing. You've got a dance studio. You're teaching dance at a college. You're also developing young talent and managing talent as well coming through, and also coaching netball and sponsoring as well, aren't you? So that's pretty awesome. Yeah. So with all that, Alannah, what has been your biggest challenge in terms of your business? It also sounds like your business is profitable. You've been able to generate an income from it and been able to live off it. But what has been your biggest challenge over the past almost 10 years when you look back?
Oh, I've had a lot of challenge. I would say number one challenge would be my being pregnant and having my children, and that being like the number one challenge of being able to be pregnant, still run your business, have children, still run your business, and not slip back into the I can't, it's too much, because it's you've got it's a heavy schedule.
It is.
And yeah, so when I signed up 2014 for my studio, I was pregnant with my second baby, and I had to sign a lease, and I was freaking out because the lease was for 2 years. So I was literally signing my life away for 2 years. It was a heavy, high lease that I had to pay for. I didn't have a studio before. It was a total risk. I had my second baby on board. I needed to now financially support 2 children, and I had no idea if it was going to work. But I had to. It was sort of like, I'm pregnant with my second, here we go. And I signed it away, and I am so glad, so there was like that extra next push of shove that I needed. Another one's been extensive bullying, cyberbullying through the community, through mainly people that don't know me or have never been into my studio, or don't actually know what I do, but like to have an opinion on what I'm doing that they don't know about. And it's hard. I try and block it out and not read it. Some of it's been it's been horrible, to the point that people are like, she needs to leave our community, etc., etc. But I've decided, no, I'm not. I'm going to put my foot down, and I'm going to keep showing you that I can do amazing things here for our community. Yeah, so really hard, but I've had really good support from people to help me keep going, and it's all the time.
Yeah, and I think with the bullying, I think when you put yourself out there, you are going to open yourself up to those sort of comments, and it's people who haven't got time to spend writing negative comments, which obviously they don't have time for anything else. So it's really great to hear that you do have a support network around you to get you through that. And just ignore it, I say. But it's still hard, and I understand that. But do you have any mentors that you go to that can support you through those times? Because we have ups and downs. So have you got some mentors that you go to support you?
Yes, I have one beautiful lady. Her name's Beverly Beach. She's Stan Walker's assistant, and she's come into my life about 2013. I met her, and we've slowly grown to know each other really, really well. And yes, when I'm really down and I want to lock myself in my room, or I want to give up and just throw everything away, she's my number one crew, and she's always available. She's always there for me. And she just gives me the right advice, because unfortunately when you're in a business, you have to keep, your profile up here, and you can't, let things like that get you down, and you have to really try and find yourself again and pick yourself up and get back on track and try not get distracted by it too much, which is really hard. But yeah.
So what has been your biggest...
Bev, if you're watching.
Big shout out to Bev.
Sorry.
Bev and Mum. So what has been your biggest success, or is there more than one? What's your biggest success in your mind?
Oh, it's so hard. That's so hard, because I feel like I have individual success, the business has individual success, and my students have individual success. So do you want me to name it? I've done a lot in my small time. I feel like at the moment, my business success just recently was when we went to HHI competition in Whangarei. I believe it was in March, and we took out 7 of the 11 awards.
7 out of 11! Wow.
Yeah, I took 5 dance crews and about 20 dancers, and we've trained for over a year prior it, and we took out like first place mega crew, first place adult crew, second place varsity, best costume, second place junior, third place junior, and crowd favorite. So for me, that was a huge success for the business. It was also a huge success by the kids that produced the work with me over the last year. Couldn't be more proud of them. And then we headed off to nationals in Auckland. So that was a huge success. We also were like one of the only businesses that had 5 crews go to nationals, and that was from all over New Zealand. So that was a total highlight, a total success for myself just recently. And then from that, I received at HHI a scholarship to Kairos Dance Convention. So 2 people out of the whole of New Zealand that ended up at nationals won the scholarship, and I was so happy, because I wanted to go to it last year and I couldn't afford it, and then for me to have won that, I was just kind of in tears with
awesome.
Happiness. Thank
well
you.
Done.
It was something I wanted to do that. Yeah. And then I went to it, and then I got a scholarship from that.
Wow.
I got a scholarship to go to LA, to a huge dance studio in LA called The Edge. They have the top choreographers, and then that's also something that I wanted to do and I'm looking into, but I can't afford it. So for me, that's now my next push and shove to get me there. So it's paid classes there. It's not to get me there and fly me there. So now I've got to work on that. So I'm totally humbled and blessed to now have that. And so I feel like everything just falls into place. Like I just get these little things that happen that just give me that push and that shove that I need for that next goal or that next dream that I have twiddling up here or on my piece of paper. So
Cool.
yeah, so that's sort of a
Do you,
yeah.
do you just want to explain to everybody what you said HHI is? What's HHI for those
Yeah.
who aren't
So it's
dancers?
hip hop. It's Hip Hop International.
Oh wow,
That
yeah.
competition goes to the World Hip Hop Championship in Las Vegas. So it's the biggest hip hop dance competition in the world. That's the one that Paris Gobel wins and goes to with her royal family. So yes, it's the same competition and it's huge and it's really hard. And because we've already got the best in New Zealand, it's so hard to get through nationals to even get to worlds. You know, we've got
Wow.
top
Well, well
amazing
done.
talent here in New Zealand. Yeah.
That's really awesome. You need to set up a, what is it? They give a little page so people can kind of sponsor you if they want to go over, because I think that's really awesome. So how long is the scholarship for? Is it like how long and what's involved?
It's just 20 classes, so 20 free classes at the Edge. So I think it was worth about $320, but it was the biggest scholarship that Kairos was giving in that section that I had auditioned for. Next year I hope to go again. They have like scholarships for like a full year at a school in like LA, which is like kind of my next goal. So I have ridiculous goals. I don't know. I think I've got like maybe it's like a big bucket list, and I'm surely tackling them all. I tell you, just from a lot of determination and just having it there and knowing that it's what I want to do. But it definitely doesn't happen overnight. You
Yeah.
know, like it took me 7 years to get my studio. For the last 7 years, I've wanted to open in Whangarei, which I did 2 weeks ago. It took me like 7 years to get my laptop, 7 years to get, you know, like it just doesn't happen overnight. It's been a long process of saving, a long process of knowing what I want to do, and just, you know, I haven't kind of forced it, if that makes sense.
So what I'm hearing, Alannah,
financially, my
sorry, Alannah. So what I'm hearing from you is that you set goals. And I think that's really important for people to hear. The other thing I'm hearing is that you have perseverance. You keep your goals upmost in mind, and you've got perseverance and patience. Patience. I think those are all quite important things. Yeah. So I mean, 7 years. That's says a lot about you, that you haven't given up on your dream. Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, I definitely agree with you all there, and I set them high, even if they're totally out of reach. I still have them there, and somehow I get there, and I really think, oh, that thing's gonna cost me like $20,000. It's never gonna happen, but somehow I eventually get there, just from, like you said, a lot of determination, passion.
I think belief too, belief and trust that it'll work out. I think that's been my experience. Sometimes I haven't known how it's going to happen. I've just had the goal and just belief that, and something does happen. So have you always set goals? Because is that something you've done from, where did you get that idea from? Was it something that was taught to you, or was it just something that you did naturally? And did you always do that from when you were young?
Well, I actually didn't know I was doing it.
Oh,
So a lot of the goals that I achieved in the last 10 years have all been childhood dreams or
wow.
goals that I had in the back of my head. I just remember being a young girl, like, I want to be a dancer, I want to be a teacher, I want to give to the community. These were just all little things that I had in the back of my head. And if I look back over the last 10 years, I now do all those things. But over these last 10 years, I've done upskilling and courses, and I was taking class with Paris Gobel, and we got to sit down and do like a Q&A with her. And she said that that's what she does. She has a piece of paper and she writes down all her goals, even if they're unachievable, puts it like right where she can see it, and that's how it gets done. So sort of from there was where I started to write them down rather than them just floating in the back of my head, hoping. So it's kind of a bit more reality, like when it's right there, like it's right by my bed, or sometimes I have it on the mirror of my, when I got, you get up every morning and you look at yourself and wash your face, it's like right there, just reminding me that that's what I'm going to do. And just every day being like, oh yes, that's right. And you just keep, climbing or digging or finding ways to get there. Yeah.
So writing goals, also what I heard from you is around skill development, investing in yourself, like spending that time with Paris Goebel. So you do things like that, invest in yourself to develop skills in a particular area?
Yes, so I'm totally self-taught. I haven't had any training. I haven't gone to like a dance school. I've just learned along the way, but that's in like 8 days I'm heading off to Phuket. It's called Asia Camp, and I'm going to be training with like the top choreographers in the world, like Ian Eastwood, Jojo Gomez. If you're a dancer, you'll totally be like,
yeah,
know
I don't
who
know.
they are. They're like the top people that are everywhere, that are on YouTube, that everyone's watching and loves and inspires to. And I'm just going to art school to bring back to the community, for me, to learn more as a tutor, and what I can bring back to the community and teach them, and the knowledge that I can gain from these amazing people. Because you can take a class and you can learn a dance routine, but a lot of the time I feel like when they talk to me, that's the most inspiring, or they might say a message that really sits with me. And it might be something like even in our conversation, you might have said something to me and it might have been really small, but it's going to sit with me and I'm going to take that with me everywhere. And it's kind of like taking a piece out of everyone's book, to kind of create your own book.
That is absolutely right. What about other parts of the business? Because your business isn't just teaching dance or dancing yourself. There's other parts of the business which you probably don't enjoy as much. How have you got support in around that? Did you develop the skill of doing this, or did you get somebody in with the expertise to help you? You know, things like, for example, I'm just trying to think, like accounting or marketing. How did you go about with that?
I've just had to learn, so just self-taught.
Good on you.
And I've just been lucky enough to self-taught. Tutu, that was that girl.
Yeah.
Tutu.
Yeah.
Just got to try.
Yeah.
Like a music mix, I have no idea. I just tutu, you push the buttons and you slowly figure it out, and over time you become good at it. You're not great at the beginning. Like I said, it doesn't happen overnight. So you just got to tutu and roll with it, and you learn. And sometimes along the way you might have a conversation with someone and they might be an expertise at it. So obviously I didn't hire experts, but you might have a friend or someone that comes through my business that's great at accounting, and you can do things like learn from them and barter.
Awesome.
Barter qualities. I had a friend in accounting, and we bartered for classes, and she helped me learn how to do accounting, and just small things like that. Everything kind of works out.
Sounds like a great deal to me. What's ahead for you? I know you're going to go to the Edge and do make use of that scholarship once you've raised some funds to get there. What's ahead for you, Alannah, in the next year, in the next 12 months?
Oh, so much. Okay, are you ready?
I'll get my pen out, shall I? Here it is. Yeah. I'm ready.
Get your diary. So tonight we're at the Tiki Tavern, performing with Hori Collective.
Where's the Tiki Tavern?
Prior that.
Sorry, Alannah, I don't know where the Tiki Tavern. There might be others that don't know where the Tiki Tavern is. Where is that?
That's in Whangarei. So I live in Kerikeri, so that's about an hour from where I am.
Cool.
Prior to that, we're doing some music video for Coastal Entertainment. We have a performance coming up at the Turner Centre on Friday the 15th of September. So that's my end of term 8-week workshop showcase, which we do that 4 times a year. The day after that, we're at the Riverview Bazaar, which is just a school, one of those gala days where we get that. Next day, we're at the market day at Springbank School for their market day. So we're just going to support all the local events around the community. October, we've got performing at Miss Far North. We're at the Kirikiri Half Marathon supporting that. We just dance on the track and, just help vibe the runners come through.
Nice.
Street Party Kirikiri, Waimate North Show, Term 4 starts in about the last week of October. Going to Asia Camp in about 8 days. When I come home, we're going to be doing some photo shoots for, I just become a car model.
Become a what?
So I'm going to be doing some photo shoots for car model.
Oh, car model. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's with Hemi Manaro photography. So it's just kind of getting to know people, and we're just kind of collaborating and supporting each other. So with dance, obviously photo shoots are great, music videos are great, it's all entertainment, it's all some sort of advertising, either for myself or for my business. So that's just a little bit of what's going on in the next
Sounds like a big bit. So tonight at the Tiki Tavern in Whangarei, what time?
I think it starts around 8-9. So please come on down. It's going to be a great night. We've got there's some other artists there. They're local artists like Naughty North. I think it's $5 entry, which is cool. And obviously once we've done our dancing, we're just going to be having a good time with the audience and helping, vibe everyone up and help everyone have a really good time.
So, for dancing, I just had a thought about your dance studio. Is it for adults or is it just for youth, for young people? Do you have adult classes?
No. Yes, so DDF is for all ages. So we've got preschool all the way through to adults. Somewhere where you can come and learn to dance. You don't have to dance. You could have a disability. I'm capable of teaching everybody. Pretty much my job is to teach you like a beginner level and grow you through into those intermediate advanced levels. There's also opportunity to be a part of our elite dance team, which goes to our dance competitions that we do every year, like the one that I just talked about recently, the HHI dance competition. They also are the group that I take around and showcase throughout the community. So that's where DDF's really passionate about opportunities and pathways. And DDF's number one is to obviously believe in yourself. So through the art of dance and having our showcases, that helps you believe in yourself. And we're really, really strong on that. And dance is a way to express yourself. It's also great for fitness. So I
was just thinking that fitness.
Yeah, so we also do burlesque dance fit, but we do dance fit, which is like more of an exercise. We do twerk, we do stretch, we do contemporary hip hop, but our main clientele is for hip hop. But hip hop is just dance. It's just an expression. A lot of people take hip hop the wrong way. They think it's, that rap hip hop discriminating to women, but people need to look at it that it's actually dance. It's an art, it's an expression, it's a feeling. And I feel like it's like you kill 10 birds in one stone taking a dance class, if that makes sense. You get fitness, you don't have to go to the gym, For me, it's a great way to relieve stress. It's a great way for me to express myself. If you're depressed or you're stressed, normally the idea is to go to a counselor. For me, it's to dance. And I get all of that out in my movements. And I don't even have to talk about it. It just comes, through the motions. So dance is an amazing thing. And if you don't like sport, definitely go to dance. You might like dance if you don't like running or doing netball or something like that. Definitely try dance. It's another hobby. It's another alleyway that you can get into.
Yeah, it sounds really awesome. I should check out to see if there's any down here in Wellington. Do you know if anyone down in Wellington who does hip hop?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll talk to you after about that.
Yes,
that sounds. Yeah, it sounds really cool.
I'm pretty sure they're called the company.
The company. Awesome. Now I'm going to. It's been 40 minutes, and I just try not to take too much of your time. But it's been really awesome hearing your story, Alannah. and all the things that you do. I don't think we can just put you in a nice neat box. I think you just do so much for your community, and you're also setting, you know, great examples for your young daughters as well, aren't you?
Yes, yes. I'm trying to teach them work hard and you'll get to where you're going.
Yeah. I know I saw your youngest one. He's still just a baby, really, but are they involved in dance? Do they participate in your dance classes as well?
Yeah, so my 10-year-old definitely does. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
our lifestyle, so the girls have just kind of been up into it, and it's all they kind of know. So it's there for them if they want to do it. Yeah, so they definitely are involved, and hopefully I'll be leaving it here for her one day, and it's going to be
Awesome.
something that she can maybe take over and keep creating and here in our community.
Awesome. So what's your, have you got some words of advice for other young wahine who have got a passion and a dream? It may not be dance, but it might be something else. What's your word of advice to them if they want to aspire to do something similar to what you're doing?
Yeah, I think just definitely do it. Don't hesitate. Just make sure you've got that support behind you. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't. If you've got a passion for it, do it. Find a way. You don't need a lot of stuff to start. Just use what you've got around you or the people around you to help you get there, and go for it. Don't use no or don't as an option. Just push forward. Just do it. Just say you can and find a way.
Awesome. And do you have any, I don't know if we talked about this before, but I'm just going to put you on the spot. Do you have any offers at the moment, any deals or specials going that you can offer to your local clients?
My local clients do get a deal when they come in. So if they come in within the first 2 weeks of the workshop and pay in full, they get a 10% discount.
Cool.
But at the moment, yeah, that's all we're offering. And at Carmore, we've got our classes, but we take intake in all the time. So
that sounds pretty good.
The start date that you can't start anytime. Yeah.
So just one more thing, because I'm into digital marketing. How have you used the online space to promote what it is you're doing? Just share with us what platforms are you using and how are you using them? So you have a web site.
Yeah, I have a website that I created myself. I also have a Facebook page, which is facebook.com/DDF Dance. So go and check it out, like it, share it, love it. And it's just got everything that we do on there. We didn't really start coming into advertising on the internet till about 2013. We just try and use our local community pages. I am looking into, I need to set up a few other pages because my business is so broad. Like I need to have a personal dance page for myself and things like that. So that's something that I'm looking into at the moment and taking like marketing lessons upon how to do that and where to do it. But yeah, we try and put up everything that we're doing just so that people can follow. You know, not a lot of people can see or be, like you said, with us right now watching it live. So just having it available on hand for people to go and look at prior or before or after to see what it is that we are doing. Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds really awesome, because something I'm just going to leave you with is that you could provide teaching how to dance online. That is a paid course, and you can do it on a video. But yeah, I'm just going to put the idea there because it sounds like you've got enough on your plate at the moment. But it's something that you might just want to slot in there and and think about.
It's on my
list. You must have a big list. Oh well, Alannah, thank you.
It was on my list since I was pregnant with my 2-year-old. So prior getting pregnant, that was what I was meant to be doing. And then I got pregnant, so it set those goals back. So I kind of feel like with being a mummy, it slows you down a little bit. I feel like if I didn't have kids, well, not that I love my kids, but if I didn't have kids, everything, you know, can kind of you know, it happens a bit quicker. So just with me having kids is just slowed me down, slowed my process, but that's totally fine. We will get there.
Because that's not necessarily a bad thing. It might be a good thing in a way. Gives you time to think things through, and there's a time and place for things to happen. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you very much, Alannah. It's been really good having you on. Any last things you want to say before we finish for the session?
Yeah. Just please believe in yourself. You know, yeah, believe. Just believe in yourself. Just know that you're beautiful. Know that everything you do is right. And just embrace yourself, embrace the community, and just strive for those goals that you have, and just don't let anyone stop you. Just make it
awesome.
happen. Yeah.
Thank you, Alannah. Thank you very much, and all the best for the future. Don't forget, people, she's going to set up a page. She hasn't said that, but I'm suggesting she set up a page, give a little page, so something so people can go on and support her to get it over and take advantage of the scholarship that she has at the Edge. Is that correct? At the Edge. Sounds like the radio station. Right. Okay, Lana. Kia ora. Thank you. Ka kite.